Okay, welcome everybody. It's about 5 minutes after 6. Please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good to see a crowd here tonight. Those of you don't know, actually, if the council would like to introduce yourselves, Chief Pete Walworth,
Sherry Moore.
Melissa Schlentz.
Let's get on the agenda tonight, try and get through this quickly. We are going to make a couple arrangements to accommodate some people that have business and make sure that you get out the door in a timely fashion. As a matter of fact, need a motion to approve the agenda as presented, other than
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the following order of items. These are all 108.
after A.
Okay. After A, that we move E, F, G, and K up after A.
J.
I'm sorry. E, F, G,
F, G, and J.
and J. Yes.
Motion to change the agenda and set the agenda. For a second?
I second that motion.
Motion in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is set. Okay, number 4, motion to approve the minutes of the last regular meeting date, January 24, 2020.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting dated January 24th, 2020.
I second that motion.
There's a motion and support. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion to receive the treasurer's report as presented February 2022. Motion,
I'll make a motion to receive the treasurer's report as presented for February 2022.
Second.
there's a motion and a second to receive the report. Tracy, roll call, please.
Moore,
Yes.
Walworth,
Yes.
Schlentz,
Yes.
McAfee.
Yes. Motion to authorize payment of the bills and transfers as presented for February 2022. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize, to authorize payment of bills and treasure transfers as presented for February 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments? Tracy, please.
Walworth,
Yes.
McAfee,
Yes.
Schlentz,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, item number 7 is public comments and agenda items only. This is the time when you get to make your voice heard on any items that we're going to be looking at tonight. We'll use a place later for the items that are not on the agenda. You would like to speak? Okay. Thank you. Reports. Administrators report.
Yeah, this is a short but sweet one. I've been getting inquiries through email regarding medical and recreational marijuana establishments. We need to take a look at the ordinances that I put through the last time that you guys tabled. So we might need to look at these things again. So I'll be bringing these things forward to you again with some other changes.
These are more commercial ones, so they're looking.
Yes. And provided you with some information about whether a municipality can make a profit from tax liens by selling the tax lien piece of property that we that you purchase, and you can't do that. Can't make forever. Oak Tree Elementary. Katie Vick, the clerk from Atlas Township, representing the PTO from the school, contacted me via email and indicating that Oak Tree Elementary had a small play structure that needed to be removed and offered to donate it to our park. I provided the pictures of it. It's really cute. And I told her, yeah, we'll take it. Tracy and I and the DPW have been working on some plans for the park and some changes. I'll be bringing that to you guys at the next meeting in April for you to review. I think it's really good and get your opinions on it. But this is a really cute playscape, and I want to thank Katie Vick, she's in the audience, for thinking of us. So yeah, the park, this will be a real nice addition to our park. It's for the smaller children. Isn't that correct, Katie?
Yeah.
Preschool age. So yeah, that'd be nice for them.
Do we have a power washer?
We do not. But we would like to get one. And that's another story. So anyways, also on Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022 at 1 p.m. is a statewide tornado siren test. All sirens located in Atlas and the village will be sounded for this test. So March 23rd at 1 p.m. You'll hear all the sirens. And that's it for now. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Mhm.
DPW School Administrator's Report.
Matt's gonna do that.
Well, we started cold patching. We've done Eagle Road. West Eagle. I know it needs again, but I ran our cold patch. We've used about 2 ton already on Eagle Road.
Yeah.
I know that their roads are getting bad potholes, but their frost laws just came on Monday. So that frost, imagine with this warm week, they're already start shooting up the frost. So we already get the roads graded. It's just a little early. Yeah. And we have a dead deer. It's actually been since winter. It's frozen to the ground, it's right in front of the middle point by the sidewalk. We did make an attempt to try to pry it loose from the frozen ground and start peeling the deer apart. So I'm hoping with today, tomorrow, hopefully it should thaw enough that we can get it, but we are aware of it. It's right by the sidewalk, by the entrance to Mill Point. So we know about it. That's pretty much it.
And you brought a guest here, Matt?
Yes, Alex from Genesee County Road Commission.
And what is he gonna speak on? Yeah.
At the dam, they gotta reline the culvert underneath the road. And he can give you some details.
Sure, so, thanks for inviting me here. I had Matt, to work with Matt a little bit on it. Okay, the village was what we do. So I'm an engineer, name's Alex, I'm an engineer for, name's Alex, I'm an engineer for the road commission, and, I manage a lot of that. I used to manage all the construction projects. I moved on to another part of that building for the most part, but occasionally I still get my hands in on some of these things. One of the jobs we're gonna do is we're gonna actually, we have 2 dams in Genesee County. One's here in Atlas, that's Perry Road over the Kersley Creek, that's the Atlas Dam. And then we have an Argentine Dam that's down in Argentine Township. I spent a lot of time on that Argentine Dam because it's how it's mechanically operated, things like that. But the Atlas Dam is basically just gravity. There's not a lot for us to do. In its current state, Atlas Dam is in good shape. It was built, it's been in its current state since about the early mid-70s. I forget the year, 73 or so. It's largely just we call it just an open weir inlet and then a spillway. And the spillway is a corrugated steel pipe. It's a very thick gauge, looks like a driveway culvert, but it's very thick. It's been there a long time. And it's just, the past few years we monitor it, we monitor all our structures. We've just started to see it start to discolor, and because of the nature of the beast, when you deal with a project like that, what we're doing is we're going to put a lining. Okay, so we're gonna have a company that's gonna come in. They're coming in April. We set it up for a board last year. We couldn't get it last year just because we had trouble getting our permits approved and the weather set in, and we said, well, there's no real rush. Let's go ahead and do it right. And we're gonna see if we can. Well, we're going to. And then starting in April 4th, we're gonna close Perry Road, and we're going to line the culvert. And you're gonna see some equipment on the top, but all the work really is gonna be on the inside. So there's a dewatering process and things like that they're gonna do. And the job should take, depending on weather and how much dewatering they have to do, i.e. bring in pumps and things like that. 'Cause they're estimating 4 to 6 weeks based on how much work they do. The contractor, Vortex Inc., they're all over the United States. They will work all over the United States, these kind of special conditions, and they're gonna do this. So they got that time blocked out, but they're permitting, we're gonna start on the 4th. And so as often as the case, we look at hydraulics here. I don't have a lot of hydraulic history on that dam as I do like the Argentine dam, but we know that the dam's upstream. If you alter this at Lake Shannon or alter Parshville, what's it gonna do to Argentine, okay? Or what's it gonna do to Byron downstream? Here, again, you got Ortonville, the mill pond here in town, Atlas Dam, and then you even go down further all the way to, Kersley Dam, or Kersley Lake in the city of Plymouth. So among the things let's talk about, because I deal with the man on occasion, for whatever we do, and he brings up about, we talk about the mill pond here in town. I said, well, is it possible? And he's very limited to what he can do, just kind of hear me out. If we're trying to get something, it may be a moot point, but we're trying to do something where we're trying to limit the amount of water flow going through the dam while we're working on it. The best way to do that is to, if it's possible, to lower the mill pond a little bit, don't panic everybody, and then when the job begins, start filling the mill pond up. That means that going over the dam here in Goodrich, there'll be a low flow, and then a low flow going through the culvert will give us some more time. Just stuff we've talked about. We're trying to just see if it'll work. It may do nothing. I don't have a lot of hydraulic information to go off, just my horse sense, so to speak, when it comes to dealing with these structures. How much that would, we're trying to just find a way to get Prairie Road open and closed. It's a busy road for us, an important road for us. So get it basically closed and open in a timely manner as fast as we can. So I don't know if the board would, I haven't, it's been a bit since I've been down. I was maybe gonna take Matt down there go with Matt down to the dam and take a look, see what we can do. But I guess I'll just open up for Q&A about the project or anything like that. We're not gonna drain the mill pond. Don't panic about that. We're not gonna do that.
Are you
I think
guys
it's
working
great.
with the DNR in regards to permits and so forth?
Well, sort of, we have a permit on this dam here, but Matt can operate that dam that is within a certain level without having to get a permit. That's what we're not gonna go exceed that. That's our.
I guess my concern would be spawning,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because we drop that pond a little bit and you dry up the spawn beds.
Yeah, I couldn't speak to that point, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't be able to speak to that point. I don't really know that mill pond all that well. It's just for pure hydraulics. So.
I mean, I don't have a problem dropping it as long as it's not in that period where the fish are spawn.
We do bridges, our bridges, we start in July because of the fish spawn period, which is in the springtime, so. The engineer meets.
When do you guys start?
April 4th, so thinking the week before, see if we can lower the dam in Goodrich, so that on the 4th or getting to the 4th, we'll put it where it's supposed to be, and then it'll fill up. And while it's filling up, the mill pond's filling up, it'll give us some time to do the work we're doing. It's just a thought, and we kick this around about trying to, limit the dewatering, because that's what takes the contractor time, and that's all we're doing, is just trying to expedite our project.
There's no mechanical way to limit the flow through the atmosphere. It's strictly.
It's under gravity, so the contractor's got a few tricks up their sleeve. They'll have pumps and things like that, but the more they got a pump, the longer it's gonna take. So they plan if the flow's low enough, they'll do, and I've never seen this before, but they'll actually divert the water within the dam itself. Which will be kind of cool, depending on where at in the pipe they're gonna do the line. They can have the ability to do that, so. But I like to say, it's not like I spent a lot of time on that Argentine dam, way more than I should. And they're pretty good about, hey, if Lake Shannon opens up, this will do this. Like Parshville opens up, this will do this, and Byron will do this. But for this one, just because we don't monitor it as close, it's not that critical for us. I don't have all that information, so. Like I said, it might be a moot point, but maybe it's worth giving it a shot, that's all. And even just to tell you guys what we're doing out there on Prairie Road, so we're lining the culvert. So we're trying to get another 50+ years out of the pipe that's there. New structure would be an incredible amount of money.
Well, thank you for that presentation.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, real question, let me know. Not your chance.
All right. Thank you very much.
Can I ask Matt a quick question? If residents are asking about potholes right now in general, obviously, when should we tell them, like, are you waiting until?
We don't have any more coal patch. I called, it came out yesterday. I'm waiting, hopefully tomorrow morning, I should hear something back. So that's just right in like there, that's Carter lumber. So I'm hoping we take our patch and get a 2 ton.
At least with temperatures now, we could be.
Yeah, within the next, I'm hoping next day or 2, I can get some
Oh.
coal patch.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, building department report.
Is that it?
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. All right.
Let's forego that.
Yeah, we're all over here looking for. The cash receipts for February 2022.
You can just note those.
Pardon me?
You can just note those. You don't, there's no action required. Just note them unless council has some questions.
Any questions before we move on? E, Fire Department Incident Report, February 2022. I'm always amazed by E and F, the fire department, sheriff department. They're very active. And sometimes I wish that we could post these online for to see them all, but I'm not sure what kind of problems that might cause. We want that to happen. A lot of calls. It's kind of fun to see what's happening in your neighborhood. You can do that on most of these. There's a little bit of a code that you have. Okay.
Did we find out about the TXTX yet?
Pardon me?
The code, the TXTX? Katie, do you know?
No, we should.
He's supposed to, is.
What's the
Do you have it?
abbreviation? Yes.
Just a second, we got it. Tracy's got it.
And the police.
Detective Veneer was supposed to be here, but he's not.
It means telecommunication. So if you call
Telecommunication.
911 and you want a police officer to call you. That's what that means.
Okay. So it's a text call. not-
Requesting a phone call.
It's a phone call, not a person. Okay. Moving along to unfinished business 9.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I would like to request that, just like I did last meeting, that we discuss both A and B before we vote on either one, just because they both deal with trying to slow people down.
So, well, we have to consider individually what you're saying.
No, I know we have. I'm just saying, it'd be nice to just discuss both items.
The overall picture.
Yes.
I don't see any problem with that. Is it, although, you can ask anybody have any objections
Did we get public opinions back about the flashing?
on each item? Correct.
Yeah, okay.
There are to be discussed one after another before any action is taken. I believe that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I just want to discuss.
Before we take action on either one. Okay, I think they are kind of intertwined, and the B might answer some questions on A. Let's start.
Real quick, if you please, excuse me. Council at the last meeting directed me to contact the 4 residents that live around where the stop signs are. So I sent them a letter and I got response from 3 of them. 2 of them don't want the blinking sign and one of them has no problem with it. Anything that will help slow the people down and make them quit blowing through those stop signs. So that was their responses.
So 3 out of 4 responded.
Mhm.
I personally stopped by those locations. I was not able to get a hold of 2. I did talk to the one gentleman, who said, that he wasn't opposed to the stop sign. He indicated that, he's lived here for several years, and that there's definitely a problem on Ridge Road with, speeders, and people not stopping, at those two stop signs. I did, ask him, tell him that, we were considering purchasing 2 flashing stop signs, and he indicated to me that, he was okay with it, that, he would, shut his blinds. He says that, they definitely have a problem there on Ridge Road, and he says that, with no sidewalks there, that, there are kids that are gonna get killed. And he says if he's gonna put up with a little bit of flashing red coming into his house, he was okay with that. I talked to the other gentleman across the street from him, and he was adamantly opposed to the stop sign because, it was on his side of the road, and he was definitely going to get flashing coming into his living room. So I think, and he did say that he wrote a letter into the office.
Have we, because it didn't get discussed before, but I thought about it as an afterthought. What about a stop ahead flashing one? So it's not at the intersection in their windows, but wherever legally or wherever it's recommended, 100 feet before the intersection. If that was flashing, I don't know if that would be an option to
Only
discuss with
problem you
them.
got there is you still got the same issue. So you move it down, you're gonna affect whoever's house that's in front of it. So you still got the same issue.
Yeah, depends how far off the road.
Sherry, did you have a conversation with the sheriff's department?
I did. He recommended that we do a traffic study right there first to get an idea. He was supposed to be here tonight. He must have been called away. I'm not sure. But
I guess my only issue with that is we've had people from Ridge Road, for years complaining about, the speeding and so forth, and just driving down there, it's obvious. People are speeding on those roads. I mean, I think we already know that there's a speeding problem there. That's why I personally, I think, the radar signs are a better way to go. Only because if we get the one radar signs from the one company, they're smart radar signs, so they can capture all that information, and we can actually use that information within the village. If we have problem areas, we can even move those around periodically. But it'll tell us how many cars are going down the road, how many cars are going 5 over, how many are going 10 over, how many are going 20 over. And I think that gives us ammunition to approach the sheriff's department and say, look, we definitely have an issue. We have, whatever the number is, we have, 45 to 55% of the people going down that road are speeding. We have an issue. And I think that would allow us to get some additional enforcement on those roads.
My only opinion on the radar signs is the placement of it. If you're gonna have it 100 feet before the stop sign, I don't think it's gonna do much good for people actually stopping. If it's substantially before where they realize, but I think everybody's saying it's not, the stopping is the problem, right? People are not stopping at Ridge.
Well, it's the speeding as well. I mean, I guess my feeling is whether you got a blinking stop sign or not, if people are running a stop sign now, I think they're still going to run it. It's not like that intersection there is around a curve, and they're coming from around the curve, and they just weren't paying attention and they missed it. I mean, this is a straight road. You can see those stop signs from a half a mile away. They're not stopping because they don't want to stop. I'm not sure the blinking stop sign's going to do anything.
Well, I think there's kind of two separate issues. Keep in mind that the radar sign would not be at the corner because you're already supposed to be stopped there. That is
Correct.
either
Right.
further up the road or further down the road. And I believe the conversation that we had was that and correct me, Sherry, the sheriff's department said that radar signs, that sometimes they're ineffective because kids play with them. They challenge each other to see how fast they can go, or if they get it for money, they get a certain number. You get 37 miles an hour or whatever, they play with.
Mhm.
So it's not just having them there. Obviously, there's enforcement, but to my mind, the corner where the stop sign is one issue. And the signs are the radar signs are another issue. And obviously East Eagle would be different than Ridge. I don't know exactly where we would put the radar signs, but I think that it would be a good idea. And the police recommended that we do a check. What a
A
count.
traffic
number
study,
for the volume.
Is that something we, as the village do?
We
or
have
do
to, we have to request it, as the council would have to request it. It doesn't cost anything. The
Okay.
county
Does
would
it
do it.
capture speeds?
I believe it would. I don't know for sure.
I don't want to say that we should table this, but I think because of the cost and the fact that it's such a sensitive subject with residents asking for it and us honestly, like, we're not at all a common ground. We know what something needs to happen. We don't know what it is though. I think we're all just kind of waiting for that perfect answer. I would just like to see us just get a little more information, talk to the sheriff and put this for one more month until we can and ask them what their opinion is.
Again, I apologize. He's supposed to
No,
be
that's
here.
okay, yeah.
Something must have come up that he couldn't be here. He was intending to be here tonight, so.
I feel like maybe just somebody in law enforcement other than 4 individuals might have a better idea. They've done this before, I'm sure.
Were you able to contact Clarkston, Village Clarkston? One other thing too, Doug, I just want to mention in regards to the radar signs from radarsigns.com. You can program those radar signs. When I first looked into these, and I first found out about these from when I traveled through the village of Clarkston, and they had some radar signs, and I thought what I kind of liked about them is when you came up to them, if you went over the speed, they said they flashed slow down and then your speed, slow down and then your speed. I thought that was
There you go.
very very interesting. Is the town police officer?
Yes.
Good, you came in at the right time.
Yeah, we're gonna get you.
I'm good.
Say yes, and that's it.
How are you today?
We're discussing the effectiveness of radar signs and flashing stop signs. So just to bring it to what we're discussing. So in regards to the radar signs, the smart radar sign will allow you to, as I was saying, I talked to the manager of the village of Clarkston. I got information in regards to these and asked him how they worked for his community. And he said they worked very well. And he said what they liked about it was the ability for the village of Clarkston to be able to capture information regarding the number of vehicles going down the road, how fast they were going. He says if you can capture reports for they were going 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, you know, it's all programmable on the information that you get. He says, but he says one thing that he didn't necessarily say that he had a problem with this, but just from talking with other communities, that sometimes of these radar signs, these kids like to see how high they can get that number to go, right? So these machines here, you can they program theirs. I can't remember if he said 10 miles an hour over or 15, but they shut their machine down once it reaches a certain limit so that the kids can't get that thrill of seeing how high they can get that number. So you will be able to program this to say, you know, if they're going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, you know, to shut it down.
Well, let's hear,
Can we take a second? I'd like to introduce, this is Detective Sergeant Jim Vanier.
Hi, how you doing today?
Everybody, he is over at Township here. Welcome him.
is what we're having a
I had a meeting with him and he offered to come in here and discuss this with us, give you some
I
information.
mean, we have risk to reward kind of situation here, you know, I mean, if you have people that are driving by a sign, you know, there's relatively no risk. They get to see what they're doing, but there's no repercussion to what they're doing. I mean, effective policing is, you know, what we really need. And I mean, the sign may be a deterrent for some, but just like laws, they're a deterrent for some, but you're still gonna have some that are gonna be breaking those laws, you know? Any kind of deterrent that we can use, I would agree with, but the cost, I don't know what the cost is for these signs. I wasn't here if you guys were discussing that, or, you know, or to try to step up effective policing in these areas and see if we can cause it to come down. I'm not saying ticket everybody in the community. That's not good community policing. You know, we need to be able to be out in the public. We need to be seen. Have these contacts. That's a deterrent in itself. It's not, you don't have to get a ticket, just getting some contact face to face. Now, if I pulled somebody over 3 to 4 times, 2 to 3 times for the same offense, when I was a road officer, I always wrote down everybody's name in a phone book that I pulled over. Every single person I've ever wrote a ticket to, I have in a phone book at home still. But anytime I had more than one contact with them, I'd start a different kind of process. You know, it didn't work the first time, so I guess I'm gonna have to write a new ticket. You know, we're not trying to cost the community money by writing them tickets for everything. That's not what it's about. You know, but sometimes that's what it takes.
So what we kind of came to, because we've been on this one for a while, is I suggested we just table this for one more month and maybe we can talk to you or email you or have you meet with us one day about just your honest opinions on that intersection, because it is a big cost and there's a lot of residents that are involved in it with their feelings with the kids and everything. And we just don't know like an absolute answer right now. So if we're going to vote on it to buy $6,000 worth of signs,
Right.
sorry, so we can tell him. Sorry.
he's happy.
I'm not sure you guys would go through for that though. Being a village, because you guys have your own, like the road commission does the traffic studies for the townships. I'm not sure who does traffic studies for the villages when they have their own DPWs. So I don't know who we'd have to reach out for that. I don't know if there's other villages we can reach out to see who they use for traffic studies.
Machines with a counter, traffic counter.
Mhm.
You can like measure axle weight. It's been a while since you've done it. There's a list of things you can measure. So too, you see going across the road,
Right.
cars running over.
Correct.
But that's free. I can get it through Genesee County, Metropolitan Planning Commission. It used to be free. I assume they still are. It's been quite a while since we.
Matt, do you know if it like tracks, because there's usually in 2 spots, right, of the road? So does it track the time limit it takes to get from one stop to the other for vehicles or anything
No,
like
I
that?
have to look this one.
I mean, I know it's hard because when people's vehicles turn off from, but I don't know if it
Yeah.
exactly what it entails from traffic studies, but
Matt, do you have a contact there with the Metropolitan?
I think I do my phone. It's been so long since we rented them, but I can find out.
They used to have 2 machines in
Yes.
Genesee County that they moved around.
Mhm.
And a couple years ago, that kind of stopped. I don't know if they broke, whatever, but they used to have 2. And we could borrow one.
That's what we used to do. We used to get 2. No.
Yeah. Right, that would be free.
Yeah, that's free.
and also most of the answers. I can get deputies together like on a daytime. We have one deputy that's working days and we can meet and have a discussion.
Okay.
I'm open most of the weeks.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys schedule, I'll make sure to get.
That is the same when I worked before about Eagle. I'm the crazy mama Eagle.
So we got multiple deputies, so I mean, whoever's working that day.
Sure. Yourself.
I just wanted to share that, Atlas Township, we're governed by Genesee County Road Commission, and we had a traffic study done last year on Green Road. The gravel portion from Ridge to Gale. And I believe it was out for 5 days. And we did a traffic count. Obviously, we want to know how many cars are traveling on that portion of the road because we have some plans for the future. But we also wanted a speed study. And we have the records that there were vehicles that drove 104 miles an hour, 77 miles an hour, and 71. The average speed was over the speed limit of 55, and I can guarantee you that the cars that were clocked doing 35 miles an hour and 30 are the people that live on Green Road.
Yeah.
Everyone else just, and we're going to have a horrific accident there if we can't get that speeding under control.
You know, the two radar signs at the ship, I don't look like they said, we don't know if they still have, they used to move them around. Do you know if those are strictly just radar signs or are they smart radar signs to where they're capturing data too?
I don't believe they captured them. I think they're just the radar signs. But I can find out some more information on that. I don't want to be misquoted, not have the actual truth. So we can meet again. I can get that information for the next meet we have.
Yeah, those are a little older, so I doubt if they're the up-to-date ones. They've had them 10 years.
And it's going to be spring. So, I mean, we're probably going to be getting them out pretty soon and we can start putting them in targeted areas.
Okay.
With that, can I make a motion to table
Yes.
number 9A, the consideration to purchase 2 solar speed aware 9-foot signs until the next meeting, so we have more information.
We have a motion.
I'll second one.
The motion is second to table. Unfinished business A and D.
Yes,
Is that
please.
correct?
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, moving on to new business. We're going to have a public hearing about adopting ordinance 2022-01. An ordinance to permit and regulate mobile home vehicle vendors. Now, this is a public hearing, and so public hearing part of this is now in session. If you'd like to speak, please raise your hand and we'll call on you. We'd certainly like to hear from your opinion. Shirley?
From the Chamber of Commerce, I'm very happy that the village is looking into this.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll close the public hearing portion. A. Okay, 10B, consider adoption of 2022-01. And boy, it is quite lengthy. Did we have copies over there? Sure.
Pardon me?
Did we have copies?
There are copies that were on the website.
Okay. It's,
Melissa, you want to read that first little part about the public hearing notice? That kind of tells it what it is.
Yes, public hearing notice for the Village of Goodrich proposed ordinance number 2022-01, an ordinance to permit and regulate mobile food vehicle vendors. The Village of Goodrich Council at their regular meeting scheduled on Monday, March 14th, 2022 at 6 p.m. located the Village Municipal Building, 7338 South State Street, P.O. Box 276, Goodrich, Michigan 48438. Phone number 810-636-2570. Will hold a public hearing to receive citizen input to consider the adoption of proposed ordinance number 2022-01, an ordinance to permit and regulate mobile food vehicle vendors. The provisions of this ordinance apply to mobile food vehicles engaged in business of cooking, preparing, and distributing food or beverage with or without charge upon or in public and private restricted spaces. This ordinance does not apply to vehicles which dispense food and that move from place to place and are stationary in the same location for more than 15 minutes at a time, such as ice cream trucks, frozen food trucks, etc. Mobile food vending shall mean vending, serving, or offering for sale and or beverages from a mobile food vending unit, which meets the definition of food service establishment under Public Act 92 of 2000, which may include the ancillary sales of branded items consistent with the food, such as a T-shirt that bears the name of the organization engaged in mobile food vending. Copies of the proposed ordinance are available for viewing at the village office or on our website, www.villageofgoodrich.com. Citizens are invited to attend the hearing in person or via Zoom to speak either pro or con on this matter. Written comments can be directed to the Village of Goodrich clerk at the aforementioned address, Sherry Wilkerson, CMC Administrator and Clerk for the Village of Goodrich.
Thank you. That's an intro to look at 5 pages. Sherry, would you like to summarize, and I will also summarize. You want to handle the licensing as far as
They're just gonna fill out a permit right now. They're gonna fill out a permit. The permit's general information. We're gonna request the proof from the Department of Health and any required documents from the county that's required for this. And as far as charging a fee, that's something that you guys will have to determine, and that's not being determined tonight. All this is going to do is help us control where these things can park. Our stick building restaurants have had issues with the food trucks being outside their restaurants, and other businesses too, parked in front of their businesses that weren't restaurants, that kept people from coming in and doing business with them. So they're asking that this keeps them, that they have to be so many feet away from any of our businesses. And this also basically goes with Gear, and Gear wants to set up in our park, and we can allow them to set up in our park. So I really don't think this is going to be an issue, but we need to control and know who's out there and what they're serving and make sure that it's all proper.
wait.
Nothing.
If you'd like to speak, I need to ask the council. Any objections?
No.
Go ahead.
You just mentioned Gear and putting trucks in the park, and that's what we do also.
They would have to fill out a permit for us and give us the information of any food truck you have.
Okay.
That's all.
So
I need it on file.
Okay. You supply insurance and-
Yes. I just need copies of that. I just need to make sure it's good.
The question is just, is it each food truck has to fill out?
Yes.
And then how much will they have to pay?
That has not been determined.
yeah, that's to be determined.
I don't know what Gear charges or good. I have no idea.
So for the most part, it's information they already have, so licenses, the permits from the county. We're asking for copies of all of that.
Yes, we need to make sure that they're
And we're
good.
kind of trying to summarize this whole thing.
So, one of the fees for
Wait a second.
We haven't decided.
There may not be any.
Okay, well, just go ahead, look at it, fax us, we're putting information out and they're registering. And if we're putting a fee out, and then there's gonna be a fee on top of the fee, we need to be transparent and let the food trucks know when the additional fees come.
Mr. President, can I comment to that?
Yes, I was
I
gonna
mean,
ask
you're
you
an
that.
entity and we are a municipal entity. We have our rules, our ordinances. This is an ordinance that becomes a law here in our municipality. So,
Yes,
Which is totally,
go ahead.
totally okay. I think just the filling out the form is fine, we can transfer forms over to you and all that kind of stuff. Not a problem. I think what Justin Jim's point is, if there is going to be another fee,
we'll inform you.
yeah,
If there is.
well, it's just that people are starting to pay us already.
I understand.
So just as soon as you want to get out.
That we must act very quickly, one thing, and take that into consideration.
Yeah.
In fact, how would a fee affect your participants?
Mr. McAbey, I don't know, and it would
Depends on
depend,
the fee.
it
doesn't it?
depends on the fee, I mean, and don't get me wrong, you're quite within your rights to, you know, do whatever, I just like a nice, smooth, you know, I don't like sticker shock, but we can work, you know, we'll work on it, it's all.
Yeah. Timing isn't ideal. This, hasn't been on our radar for long.
No,
I apologize for that.
We'll keep you informed.
I'm not.
Okay, Keith, you had a comment?
You said we moved some items up, to be discussed.
Yeah, well, we're not quite.
I will make a motion to adopt, ordinance, 2022-01 to permit and regulate mobile food vehicle vendors.
Support.
Okay, there's a motion and support. Comments? Council? Well, I think we need to get this on the table for next month, let you know what's going on.
We need a roll call. for
Pardon me?
this. We need a roll call for this.
Yeah, we do need a roll call. But thank you, everyone here. And please, write us too. It's not too late to write. Okay, Tracy, we need a roll call.
Moore,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Close,
Yes.
McAbey.
Yes. Thank you. All right, we close the public hearing.
Let's go to C because they're here and they can.
Well, next up on the item is C, request to schedule food, good times in Goodrich on Friday, August 5th and September, August.
Saturday.
6th. Saturday. 2022.
And you have two representatives in the audience. If you want them to speak on it, please.
Guys like to speak?
Sure. Just we're going to add a Friday night event to the festival this year. So we're a little excited about that. And then we'll have the all day event and that, but we have to get council's permission so that we can apply for our B1 spirit license and that kind of stuff. So that was just what we were coming here tonight to do.
I'm excited you guys are doing 2 days.
It
used to be
Don't talk to me like Saturday night, that did badly, but yeah, so that's what we're up to. That's with your permission.
All right. Looking for a.
I'll make the motion to request to schedule good times in Goodrich on Friday, August 5th and Saturday, August 6th, 2022.
Support.
Motion and support. Questions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. We're going to go to E, consider recommendation planning commission regarding site plan review. And
Conditional
and
use.
conditional use for 7281 South State Road.
Goodrich.
He's here. Any questions? Mark's like to make a comment?
He doesn't need to.
No.
It's, all you're doing is approving like
Yeah.
the planning commission. You can ask Keith. Keith was at the planning commission. You can ask him. It was approved and they're recommending approval by council.
All right, looking for motion.
I'll make the motion to consider recommend,
To recommend.
to recommend.
To concur with the recommendation.
Yeah, to concur with the recommendation.
I'll support that.
Okay. There's motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Thank you, Mark.
F is the same thing. It's from the planning commission. I don't know.
There's,
Keith.
no issues in regards to the split of the property. The planning commission was recommending. approval.
Yeah, yes. Consider recommendation of planning commission regarding parcel division. 7301 South State Road, split off Old Bank Building. BLB Enterprises, LLC, Barry Bass, petitioner.
So we need a motion to concur with the recommendation of the planning commission.
I'll make a motion to concur with the recommendation of the planning commission regarding parcel division 7301 South State Road, split off from the old bank building.
I'll support.
The motion and support. Tracy, you might better have. the vote, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, G, consider recommendation of planning commission regarding lot 43 Fairview Hills property, ID 2-15-576-043, lot 45 Fairview Hills property, ID 02-15-576-045.
This is to approve the combination.
Right. Combination,
Planning commission didn't have any issues.
they didn't have any issue.
Um,
The motion,
I'll make a motion to concur with the recommendation for the planning commission regarding lot 43 in Fairview Hills property.
the second,
Second.
there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is adopted. Okay, now we're down to J. Considering request from Bitter Cemetery Association to obtain a charitable gaming license to have the fire department conduct their duck race volunteering good times. And looking,
Yeah.
This is a
Is that you
standard
dump them all
request.
like
It's a
that?
standard, this is paperwork, it's
I'll
standard.
make a motion to consider request from Goodrich Cemetery Association to obtain a charitable gaming license to have the fire department conduct the duck race held during good times.
Support.
there's a motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. And let's go to K.
No,
D.
no, we're gonna go back to D.
All right.
Oh.
Okay, consider council member appointment to the zoning board of appeals effective immediately.
I would like to, I would like,
We did this last.
No, we did the, zoning.
well, this time it's for this,
The zoning.
yeah,
And we appointed you to zoning last month.
yeah, well, we're gonna appoint myself to the, planning right now.
No, that's zoning.
I'm the representative.
No, that's
of
zoning.
planning Right now.
This one is zoning board of appeals.
This is for zoning.
Was
Yeah.
you appointed, we appointed you last month today.
Yeah, I thought that's why I said that.
We
to
didn't,
you.
we didn't have it, did we, Tracy?
Yeah, it was done last month.
It wasn't part of any motion. Tracy and I discussed that. I didn't have it in my
So
notes
it
and she
needs
didn't
to
have
be
it either.
motion.
So whether you did or didn't, just please do it tonight, please.
I'll make a motion then to, do the consideration for council member appointment to the zoning board of appeals effective immediately
You have to appoint somebody.
to appoint Sherry Moore.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You're in. Okay, now. That line is going all over. I hope the only thing left on this page is K.
H.
You got one left?
H and I.
Yeah, each and every.
H.
You can go ahead and do K if,
Let's do this, K. Do
you wanna get out of
Holiday light.
I budgeted 13 and it ended up being 1,400 our share, so,
Actually,
it was an extra 100.
Yeah. All right, it's my like maybe motion.
I'll make a motion to approve additional cost of $100 for installation and removal of holiday lights.
Tracy?
Over.
Yes.
Yes.
More.
Yes.
McAdie.
Yes. Now that goes back up to
H.
H and I. Okay, consider appointing village council to fill vacant position expiring November 2022, and I believe we had 4 people.
We had 4
I would,
applicants.
I'd like to make a motion to,
We have to, Doug, can you explain the process, please?
Well, let me finish. We had 4 people apply,
Correct.
and we thank them. We read all of them over, and we do need to make a choice of those 4. The applicants fill out the applications. 3 were completely filled out, 1 wasn't. Okay, now,
I would like to make a motion.
Can we explain,
please.
Doug, Robert's rules says how appointments take place for this.
Sure.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Keith.
Appointments have to be made. People have to make a recommendation for an appointment to council. Everybody has a chance to make a recommendation, and then we vote on it. Robert's rules.
Everybody has a chance to make a recommendation.
You can discuss it beforehand. You want to discuss the applicants? Go ahead.
Can I voice my recommendation?
You have to open up the floor. You have to take.
Keith, please.
I'm just
I'll
explaining the
take
process.
my guidance from the one with the training.
Go ahead and open it up and ask if any of your council people have any comments. And start there.
Yeah, and.
Any
we would end up in the
recommendations?
Same place if there was a motion on the floor. Because there, once that happens, there is ample discussion, so. But, so the floor is open for discussion.
I would just like to voice my opinion to recommend and consider Sue Simeon for the open vacancy position for village council. I think her questionnaire and her resume speaks volume for what she could be capable of, and I think she'd be a good, honest opinion for a seat on our council. Thank you.
I think Shannon McCafferty has experience to fill this position. She was village president for several years, and I think she is qualified to serve. What you said.
What else? Discussion is over. Looking for a motion?
I would like
I
to
would
make a
like to
motion
nominate
to,
Shannon McCafferty. You guys said discussion.
Discussion is over.
I understand, right? When are you gonna open up the floor for nominations?
he just said that, and I went to go say something.
That's,
You don't make a motion at this point.
Keith, please.
Do I need to get Robert's rules out for you, Doug?
Go ahead and let him make his nomination. Who he wants to nominate. See if he has support for the nomination. Do you have support for the nomination? Support?
I hear none. Still looking for a motion?
Do we have another?
The nominations do not get support, Sherry. They're nominations, okay? Everybody has a chance to make a nomination. The nomination process is closed. And then the nominations are voted on one at a time in the order of the nominations.
So is your nomination for Shannon over? And we can move on to another nomination?
Yes.
I would like to nominate Sue Simeon.
I'll second that motion.
No, there's no more.
Oh, no, I'll say, sorry, I'll second that nomination.
Are there any other nominations?
Seconded.
Okay, Keith.
Any other nominations?
Okay, any other nominations? Looking for a vote?
Close the nominations.
Nominations are.
Now vote on your first nomination of Shannon McCafferty. Is there a motion for Shannon McCafferty?
There was a motion without a second.
Does it need a second? It just has to be voted on.
We'll have a-
Have her vote.
Let's have a vote. All in favor, Shannon, Karen?
No, you should do a roll call.
Okay, roll call.
Moore,
No,
McAbey,
No.
Walworth,
Yes.
Sweds,
No,
Okay.
Next, the next one is,
Sue Simeon.
roll call on that.
Sweds,
Yes.
Moore,
yes,
Walworth,
No.
McAbey,
Yes. All right.
Carries.
There is seven.
Mhm.
Congratulate Susan. Sherry, would you like to give her official call?
I will.
Okay.
She'll have to come in and take a note.
All right.
So, yes.
Okay, now what else left on that?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, aye, consider joint purchase Atlas Township, 300 guns. Was this? I'm waiting to. Sherry, it seems to me,
This was brought to me to bring to you, and I asked Detective Sergeant Jim to help explain why these cars aren't equipped with radar guns. Can you do that? Is that not normal equipment?
yeah, we thought that when you contract, they come with everything.
I think there's still discussion going on with what's gonna happen with that. So I would probably suggest to table that with your radar sign
Oh.
until I think sheriff is gonna be reaching out.
Okay,
It's not 100% sure on that yet, but I'd like to gather some more information first before we go with that one.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to tables, item I, the consideration for the purchase of the 2 speed radar guns.
Table. Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor of table, say aye.
Aye. Thank you for that.
No,
Here.
anything left on the first page?
No.
So. Okay, item L, consider purchase, consider request to switch village telephone.
I'm requesting that be postponed right now, please, if you will.
I'll make a motion to postpone item J, that's consideration to request to switch the village office phone provider from Xtiva to CTS.
Support.
Motion and support to postpone item L. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Amen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, consider request of village employee Patrick Sheriff, deputy clerk to raise current hourly wage of $13 to $20. Should we have background?
It's $1.87. The only raises that she's gotten that she's received is would be a cost of living.
Did she receive cost of living and how much we did?
I don't have that information in front. We haven't, well, it was like 8.8% or something, 1.8. And that was back when Shannon was here, still on this.
I just,
It's been a while.
I just have to say that this is not the right time to be considering this. We have budget coming up here in 4 months. That's the proper time
Mhm.
to discuss this.
Mhm.
What's being asked for is over an 11% raise. I'd like to see when they got cost of living adjustments as well. But this is not the proper time to do this. Budget is the proper time to do this. I'm not sure what another 3 months is gonna matter.
We've had other raises recently,
And I objected to those as well.
and that this request is now instead of, because of situations we can't talk about. So now instead of
But did you
budget
get,
time,
so, you're willing to go through with this and you don't even know what raises she's received in the last 5 years. And now we're talking about,
Why don't you,
well, she's great. She's got the
Why
same
don't-
raises as everyone else. It wasn't the only one. She wasn't the only one. You know, all these
can I
are the same.
suggest that it be postponed and let me gather this information for the next council meeting? How's that?
Yes, please.
Good idea.
Yes.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to have Sherry postpone for one more month the consideration request for employee Patricia's raise of her hourly wage.
For further information.
Motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the motion is postponed. And authorize DPW supervisor to order 2023 cab and chassis for dump trucks for a cost of $82,000. Matt,
Yep, I can find that. We have a 2005 GMC CA 500, and the dump box is pretty much wasted. The issue is right now, as we all know, to go purchase a truck right now, I can't get one. They're at least a year and a half, at least a year to year and a half out. And if you want one for 2023, you have to place an order now. The dump on that truck is pretty much at the hinge point. Where it attaches to the front of the truck is totally rotten. There's no fixing it. It's almost a 20-year-old salt truck. And I do have, there's two. If you want to see them. You guys want to come through here, but there's pictures.
I know, I personally look at it.
Yeah,
all the
that's
time, so,
that's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
sunshine.
So would this new truck be here for this coming winter,
No.
2022 winter?
No,
Probably
no.
late winter, it's hard to say. with-
But your current one will make it one more winter?
Yeah, so I have to. But that's just the cab and chassis. That's not coming to dump box and all the plumbing for hydraulics, that's separate.
If you look at the total approximate cost is $166,000. Okay? That's over the next 2 years, our next two budgets. We're gonna budget more for it. Currently, I have $80,000 in the budget for a new truck. So we're gonna have to add another 82,000 or so.
And then what happens with our existing truck? Is that
Once
saved for,
Once we get the.
once we get the new one, yeah, we'll decide to either auction or, put up by the road or whatever council decides to do.
and what do you think the possible recouping of that is?
I couldn't tell you, right now, the trucks, the problem we got, the truck has no hitch on it and the dump's wasted. So
What do you mean
basically-
wasted? So, or, man, what do you mean by wasted?
Well,
Rusted out.
the dump, you just rusted out.
Okay,
There's no-
it's rusted out.
It's,
But there's no hitch on it either, so basically that truck's only good now for salting. Because with that new truck and spreader, you don't have to put the dump up.
right.
So that's the only thing that truck's good for now. That's why I would like to get a rotation program, say every 8 years or whatever, and start rotating these trucks, so you can recoup some of your money. So you don't let it get to a point where basically you can't get much money for it. I would like to get some sort of program.
Yeah.
How old is this truck?
2005, so it's almost 20 years. And I know the county doesn't keep it for that long, because
I know.
I'm sorry, Matt, could you reiterate again? So we're looking at paying $80,000 for
for a cab and chassis.
cabin chassis. You know, there's something mentioned about
Yeah.
another $80,000?
84 some change.
And that's for what?
To have the dump put on it, if you order the dump and the plumbing separate. Like half a high dog Flint, they retrofit trucks with a dump box or toolbox or whatever you want.
So this is just for the cab, basically. the frame.
Yes. The frame, yep.
So you're talking, it's gonna cost us $160,000,
166 roughly.
166. And then new trucks, what about 250, somewhere?
No, that is a new truck.
Say that again.
That is a new truck.
So this would be
That would be
a new truck.
2020, yeah, 2023. Yep.
Will that be fully outfitted the way you need it?
We already have a salt spreader because we purchased a new drop salt spreader. Once we get the new truck, that salt spreader just dropped a new one. That's the good thing about these drop-ins. You can transfer from truck to truck. So every time you get a new truck, you're not buying a whole new salt spreader. I believe that county uses that unibody, but I've checked into it. You're talking, they're quite pricey. They're a lot more what this is.
All right, so $166,000, basically, out of this budget and next budget is gonna get us a brand new 2023 truck, which is the first time we've had a new truck. What do we got now, a 2005?
Yeah, what, two,
They both 2000.
we got two 2005, we got the 06.
Okay. So where's that gonna put us in regards to our truck, once we get this? What are we doing with the other trucks?
Once we get this new truck, we're transfer the salt spreader, we're doing the new one.
Right.
Then we either put that old truck up for auction or by the road or whatever you guys decide to sell it. And I can tell you right now,
What kind of shape is the other truck in, and how much money we're going to dump into that here in the near future?
the box is getting pretty rough. I mean, more welcome if you guys want to stop by tomorrow, I'll show you. I mean, I have no problem.
But I guess what I'm asking is how much longer do you?
It's getting
The
pretty thin.
life is of the truck that we keep, minus the dump truck.
Oh, to keep the replacement or keep the current one we have right now? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying, we get this new 2023 and we got two vehicles. We're gonna keep one of the two and do something with the other one. The one that we do keep.
Right, it'd be a 4,500, the smaller dump truck.
Okay. And how much life does they have left? is what I'm-
It's 2005, but that one doesn't get used as much. The frame's in better shape, the dumps so. I mean, if you look at it, there's getting some thin spots. I mean, it's a salt truck. It's both are almost 20-year-old salt trucks.
So when do you think that would need to be replaced? Another 3 years, 5?
I'd say 3 to, yeah, maybe 3, I don't know, maybe 3 years, it's hard to say.
So as soon as we purchase
Okay, and
this one,
in
then
3 years, if we don't end up getting rid of it, we just have to replace the dump on it. The dumps are
I know for the
60
big,
grand, right?
well, I know for the big one, it just varies, and that's before this whole COVID thing, it was between 15 and 25,000 dollars just for the dump. That's not a big truck.
Have you ever taken a look at any of them?
Yes, I have.
So, I mean, eventually, if it's, I would just start planning to start replacing trucks. Like say you got two 2005 and then one 2006 pickup truck. Everything's getting rusty.
Yeah.
I mean, they're almost 20-year-old salt trucks. I mean, at some point, we got to get on a rotation program and start
Yeah,
replacing trucks.
we've talked about that. We plan to
Yeah.
discuss this. Budget period.
I mean, back in the day for COVID, I could go up to Saginaw, wrap a lot and pretty much get a cab chassis right there. Now, because of shortage of steel and other stuff, you just, they're over a year out.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to authorize DPW supervisor to order 2 2023 cab and chassis for new dump truck at the cost of $82,176.
I'm gonna support that.
Okay, motion and support. Questions?
Wait, one more thing, Ted. Now that price is from last month. It may, I mean, no, it's not, it may vary by a couple $100. It might not be the exact same price because price, everything's going up almost daily now, so that could vary just a little bit. Yeah, so.
Twist their arms. All right, your motion and support. Authorize supervisor to purchase cab 2023, $82,176. Tracy? Could you do roll call?
Are we keeping that amount?
No, can we say not to exceed, say
Yeah, not to
85,000?
exceed.
Not to exceed.
Not to
85,000.
exceed, okay.
Walworth,
Yes.
McAdie,
Yes,
Schultz,
Yes,
Moore,
Yes,
okay. Motion carries. Oh, consider adoption of resolution 2022-03, a resolution for the adoption of the Genesee County mitigation plan update. Now, you need to do some explaining here. You can't-
Well, the resolution will explain it. and I've asked Melissa to please read the resolution.
all right, lots of verbiage, here we go. Resolution number 2022-03, a resolution for the adoption of the Genesee County Hazard Mitigation Plan update. Whereas the Village of Goodrich, Michigan is vulnerable to a wide range of natural, technological, and human-related hazards and has experienced repetitive disasters that have caused loss of life, damaged commercial, residential, and public properties, displaced citizens and businesses, closed streets, and presented general public health and safety concerns. And whereas Genesee County has prepared a Genesee County Hazard Mitigation Plan update that provides an understanding of those threats, identifies the hazards affecting the area, discusses the county's vulnerability to the identified hazards, and outlines the community's options and strategies to reduce overall damage and impact from natural and technological hazards. And whereas the Genesee County Hazard Mitigation Plan update represents the interests and needs of the Village of Goodrich. Now therefore be it resolved that the Genesee County Hazard Mitigation Plan update is hereby adopted as an official plan of the Village of Goodrich. We're making a motion to pass on this 14th day of March 2022 by the Village of Goodrich Council.
This has been on our website. Copy of this has been on our website for people to read. There's also a hard copy here in the office upstairs for anybody who would like to see it. It's quite large. So
Sherry, were you
it's been available.
at that meeting on the 16th when we talked about this?
No, I was not.
No, I'm talking about Sherry Moore.
Okay, to kind of summarize
make
that.
a motion, I'd like to make a motion to consider
To adopt it,
To
to
adopt.
adopt the resolution.
adopt a resolution number 2022-03, a resolution to adopt adoption of the Genesee County Migration Plan update. Mitigation.
Second,
Okay, his motion is second. Any comment? Okay. Can you do roll call?
Yes.
Schultz,
yes,
Moore,
Yes,
McAdie,
Yes.
Walworth,
Yes.
Okay, his resolution is adopted.
Okay, this next one is to consider the adoption of the resolution number 2022-04, resolution for Village Council to authorize the distribution of the master plan, proposed master plan, and set a public hearing for the Planning Commission to hold on Monday, June 27th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. This is required by law. We had a steering committee that was appointed last year to work on our master plan. They've come up with a master plan and they presented it to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission, this is all steps that are required by law. The Planning Commission therefore has sent this to our council to adopt this resolution. This starts a 63-day review for the public and anybody who wants to review this and make comment about our proposed master plan. And then after the 63 days, it then goes back to the Planning Commission for adoption, and then it becomes our new master plan. So that's what this is for. This is a process that has to be done. And so if you would read the resolution, Melissa, please.
Yes. It is, HOC stand, does that stand for something?
That's ad hoc.
Okay. So this resolution number 2022-04 for the Goodrich Village Council authorization of master plan distribution. Whereas an ad hoc steering committee of the Village of Goodrich Planning Commission was formed and has undertaken a study of the development patterns of the village as required under PA 33 of 2008 as amended, and whereas the ad hoc steering committee of Goodrich Planning Commission has prepared an update to the existing Village of Goodrich master plan. And whereas the Goodrich Planning Commission has reviewed this plan and recommending that the draft Village of the Goodrich Master Plan 22 is ready to be approved by the Goodrich Village Council for the mandated 63-day comment period by the required reviewing agencies and entities. And now therefore be it resolved that the Goodrich Village Council authorizes the Secretary of the Planning Commission through the Office of the Village Clerk to distribute the required notification letters to the reviewing agencies and entities, saying that commencement of the 63-day mandated review period will commence with the distribution of the required letters and setting the required Planning Commission public hearing regarding the draft master plan for Monday, June 27th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. This public hearing date must be more than 63 days after the public notice is printed and notification letters go out. And be it further resolved that the Goodrich Village Council reserves the right to approve the Village of Goodrich Master Plan 2022. Do you need the parentheses part too?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
So we,
Okay, resolution.
So motion to adopt the resolution.
Motion,
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution 2022-04 for the Village Council to authorize the distribution of master plan and set a public hearing.
support? Support. Okay, there's motion and support, comment? Okay, Tracy?
Moore,
Yes.
McAfee,
Yes,
Walworth,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
thank you, motion is carried. All right.
This resolution was sent to me last week, and I prepared it from MedStar for it's requested for the 911 consortium, and I'm presenting that to you for adoption.
Ready for one last one, folks?
Want to read it?
Resolution number 2022-05. But we are going to postpone this one.
Yes.
Well, you should read it into
Yeah.
the, you read it and then postpone it.
All right, this is a resolution regarding designation of MedStar as local service provider for the Village of Goodrich. Whereas the Michigan Public Health Code, specifically MCL 333.20948, authorizes a local government unit to contract for ambulance or emergency medical services. And whereas the Genesee County 911 Consortium operates the system under the direct dispatch method defined by MCL 484.1102 to require dispatching the appropriate available public safety service unit located closest for the request for public safety service. And whereas the Village of Goodrich wishes to designate MedStar as its preferred ambulance emergency medical provider as MCL 333.20948 permits, and whereas the Village of Goodrich believes that MedStar is the most appropriate available public safety service unit closest to the request for public safety service emanating from within the village, and whereas the Village of Goodrich wishes to direct the consortium to dispatch MedStar to all requests for ambulance or emergency services within its boundaries. It is hereby resolved that the Village of Goodrich hereby designates MedStar to be its preferred provider of ambulance and emergency medical services, including advanced life support and basic life support services within the village. Also, that MedStar shall enter into a release indemnification agreement with the consortium on terms acceptable to MedStar and the consortium. And 3, without condition or exception, the consortium shall first dispatch MedStar to all requests for ambulance or emergency medical services within the village boundaries. If MedStar is not able to respond, then the consortium will dispatch the next appropriate available public service unit located closest to the request. And the Village of Goodrich hereby releases the consortium and waives any claims, demands, or causes of action it might have against it, including as consortium's officers, officials, employees, contractors, and agents from and against all liabilities, fines, penalties, actions, damages, claims, demands, judgments, losses, costs, expenses, suits, or actions arising out of the consortium's performance of its preliminary public safety answering point duties in a manner consistent with this agreement.
I'm asking that the council please postpone this and let me send this to, authorize me to send this to our council for review and recommendation, please.
Yes, I think that's very appropriate.
Yep.
I will make a motion, to postpone Q, which is, the adoption of resolution number 2022-05. Until our, lawyers can take a look at.
Support. Okay, there is a motion in support to postpone until our attorneys can take a look at it. Comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, your motion to postpone is approved.
Thank you.
Believe it or not, I think that's. Okay, the next item is public comment not on the agenda. No, we didn't miss anything there.
I have one more thing. Do you want me to contact the county tomorrow, find out about the traffic counters?
Yeah.
Possible, okay.
Please. Wait.
Yeah, during contact, I just wanted to say that your Zoom was not working today.
I got locked out 3 times, so
Okay, I tried.
I'm sorry.
Like 5:55 to 6:15 and it just kept spinning. I had 4 different people try.
I'm
Because it
sorry.
says that it's on a recording.
It's not, you can do cell phone, you can do laptops, nothing, it's just spinning.
I'll have to look into it. I apologize.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that.
Well, let me give you real quick on the website. We'll be going live here pretty quick, but I want to send all you a link to it to look at before we go live. Okay?
Our new site.
Yes.
Good.
Steve, did you have something to say?
If I may, the comments I'd like to make are pertaining to items you've addressed on the agenda. Is that okay at this point?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. My name is Steve Bucas. I'm at 8502 Ridge Road. And if I may, I was curious, I'm glad to hear you tabled the stop sign thing because I've got mixed feelings about that. I live on that road. It's an atrocity when people drive down there. But the stop signs, I don't know that it's an awareness issue as much as it was a flat disregard for stop signs. I'm sensitive to people who live around there. I can't imagine having that flashing 24/7. The radar, smart radar illumination signs, I think would be a positive step. I've seen those in Clarkson. They've got 3. Brandon, they have 3 in Ortonville, and I think they're just from my own observation. I do a lot of driving through those areas. I think they do help. If nothing else, they draw your eye when they're flashing. Like you said, the one in Clarkson says slow down and flashes your speed. I was just through there Friday and Saturday night. And I think that was value added.
They tell you to slow down.
They do. They
Yeah,
tell you
I'm saying,
slow
you
down.
tell you.
I tried that.
Well, before you even get there.
Yeah,
it's
I tried that.
25, slow down. So.
Yeah.
And I used to test drive cars through there for the dealership, so I know the speed limit. So, but at any rate, the other thing I had a question about the radar guns for the police cars. I was stunned to find out that wasn't original equipment in those vehicles. They weren't. At least on the state cars,
Yeah,
they
that-
had it because I've been pulled over by them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, here's the thing that bugs me. I live in the village and I'm gonna pay from the village and the township. I mean, to me, that seems a little bit,
Yeah.
I have a little bit of heartburn with that. Well, they're value added. I don't wanna pay for them twice. I don't think that's very equitable. Another comment though, and this kind of bugged me. Years ago, I was in this meeting and the township complaining about the speeds on Ridge Road. And I was told by Jeff at that time, every time I pull somebody over, it's one of your neighbors. I don't care. Dude hits my wife and my daughter back out of the driveway. They're just as hurt. So aggressive enforcement to me is going to resolve the stop sign issue and the speed issue because it's the same people I see flying up and down that road. They're cutting through at the same times. I'm retired now, so I'm there more. And I see them in the morning and in the afternoon. They're cutting through to avoid the downtown traffic, or they're coming down Horton Road, not Horton Road, that's the next one south, where they fly. But Green Road is just, it's nuts on that road. And with the new addition of the 60 homes behind me, it's not getting better.
25.
25 initially, but after another 40.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not gonna get any less dangerous. It's gonna get worse, so. That was all I had. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Katie Vick, 9341 Green Road, kind of piggyback on his comments a little bit. I had written down, what about considering something like traffic cams? I don't even know if that's feasible in this situation, but I feel like if they can then you a ticket for going through and not paying your toll or running a red light or whatever, I don't see why you couldn't give them a ticket for rolling the stop sign over and over. And the other thought was maybe rumble strips.
I presented that and it said it's not.
A lot of counties don't like that because plowing wise,
Yeah.
they tried in Bell Vista years ago and the city took them out because they had noise complaints and plowing during winter time. So
Oh, wow, yeah.
Complaints.
And then as far as the flashing light thing, I mean, having just a flashing red light all day, all the time, I definitely see that being an issue, but I do think there could be a spot along Ridge Road somewhere where that, because when you came up by the golf course, coming from by the schools in the town, just for that couple of weeks that they had that, you know, popping up, telling you how fast you were going, even I realized I was going way too fast, and that definitely reminded me, even though I know this town and I don't certainly won't try to speed, but it does, it just kind of snaps you back, like, whoops, let me back off. So maybe that's kind of an as needed basis versus the all the time flashing.
And that's why we did have, Genesee County put one out on Eagle, which is the other concern where I talked about the school bus time. And yes, for that 10 days, people did start to check themselves, then when it's gone. And it just like you said, it's the same people because they're coming home at 3:40 and they just 40, 45 miles an hour.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've been told to get the license plate. So it's like, yeah, okay. Sure.
I see them through the hair dryer and act like I'm doing it.
I throw basketballs.
Waterfall got thrown once.
He'd like to make a comment.
Over the past few weeks, I mean, go with the speed. Sherry, everybody's been contacting me and wanting more patrols. I've been getting with my guys, letting them know we need to step up effective traffic, get seen more in the public, get out there. I'm addressing on a daily basis. Get with me before you leave. I'll give you a card. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. I'm your buffer between them, and give me your problem times. We'll address them, and we'll try to get things slowed down in the areas where we need to.
I appreciate
And if you have any other concerns, just reach out to me. My phone is always on. Voicemails get sent from my desk phone to my phone, so I always have access to them when they come. So don't hesitate.
I think one more thing to add, like he said, the signs he's talking about slow down. I mean, municipality magazines, they do say that one is more effective than a stop.
The blinking ones, yeah.
Like he said, when people see that slow down, they're like, oh, you know, I'm doing whatever, 40 or
Yeah, I
whatever.
drive
But
that.
they do recommend a book that is more effective.
And it does.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you. Okay, council comment.
I just want to thank everybody for letting him join today. Sorry, he was a little loud in the back, but 3 sick babysitters, so he had to come with me. So thank you.
I wanted to play it.
He's got lots of monster trucks.
Anybody else, council?
Yeah, I do. I just want to reiterate something that Steve Vickers was reading, and that is we all pay for the sheriff's department through our millage. And I also don't think that that we should be paying twice on the raiders.
Okay, I have just a few things. Thank you all. Good to see all everybody here, and thank you for coming. I've been traveling Ridge Road more lately, looking and East Eagle too. And when we first came, we were talking a couple months ago. I went to a basketball game. I think I got out at 9:30, and then went south on Ridge, and there was an officer down where the golf course has their work shed. Pull back in there. I saw it. I've been kind of watching. I see that the presence has been stepped up. We need to appreciate that. It is a little troublesome which way to go, but we can do it. I almost hesitate to bring this up about that corner, but there was a boy killed there on his bicycle between Jan Roy and the little bit of a hill south towards Green Road. There's a boy on a bicycle was killed, and the driver was his neighbor about 4 houses up. He was almost home. Pardon me? Yeah, and he almost home. So it's been a speed problem for a while. With that, thank you all. Sorry it went so long. The motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
So
Aye.
Site plan alignment stuff.
I just got that.
To try to build something?
No, not build, but I'm rather just running it.
Yes. Yeah, whatever you got, yep. Site plan.
Set up like this, or is it just presenting drawings?
It goes to planning commission. Site plan goes to planning commission first. And then the application's on our website, or you can come in and get one if you need help, okay? Can you set that down for me?
as I'm picking my butt, my walk away. Stop video.
I don't understand. Why wasn't it on?
It says recording right there. Stop.